Hello and welcome to March's virtual meeting for GEG Iowa. We are the Iowa branch for the Google Educators group, and our group is essentially devoted to connecting as many educators as possible locally and supporting each other through learning about new resources and different things like that. On the live feed of this YouTube video is a view of how you can get to our website. Our website is very simple. It's through bit.ly, so bit.ly/GEG Iowa. GEG and the I of Iowa are capitalized. So if you go to that link, it will take you to the homepage of our website, which will look similar to what is currently being displayed on the screen. On the homepage, you will find everything that you need to connect with us. If this is the first time you have joined us for a meeting, I'm going to walk you through kind of how this goes, and then I will get into the different tools and tricks that we are going to discuss for today's session. So let's first off take a look at our website. So if you go to our website, which was on the screen a second ago, of bit.ly, GEG Iowa. Let me just really quickly put that up there for you again. So it's bit.ly/GEG-Iowa. You will end up on our homepage. The landing page of our homepage explains who we are, what our general information is, and it has some really quick links on how you can get connected. The two links will take you to our two subpages on this website. The first one will give you information about our discussion board, which is essentially just a online group where you can connect with any educator in Iowa. Also, we say Iowa, but the whole point of GEGs is that they are open to the full community. So I actually originally had attended a lot of different states' GEGs many a times for many years before finally deciding, okay, let's just take the plunge and let's try to become Iowa's GEG leader. And so I started Iowa's group last summer, and I'll kind of go into that in a second here and tell you more about me in a second here, but just kind of giving you a real quick overview of this. So that will give you information about the group that you can join. It's a very simple, do you want to join, and all of that. As I kind of mentioned, we are very early in our infancy, so we do not have many people in our group. So please share our information with any educators that you know and want to connect with. And then the third option on that homepage and on our website gives everything you need to know about our monthly meetings, which is our core way that we meet up. I'm more than willing to meet up in person if people would like to meet in person eventually, but while we've been getting the group going, this is what we're doing. So this school year, we've been trying to meet about once a month on the third Wednesday of every month. And so this is our meeting for March, and we have two more scheduled for this school year. I will be taking the summer off of GEG, but I will probably be hosting my first GEG meeting come August. So as soon as I have that information available, it will be on this website. Again, this part of the website shows you exactly the everything you need to know. There are links to everything. So there's a link to our agenda, which we'll go into in a second. There's a link to this live feed and our channel. Every session has been recorded and will be recorded and will be available after the finished hour for you to peruse at a later date, and will always be available through the website, through the agenda, and multiple different locations. Plus, you can reach out to me if you need any of those resources. So that is a little bit about our website. Everything in here should be functionable, clickable. If it is not, please reach out. So the thing that we're going to be working through today, and essentially what we do every session, is that we work through this Google Docs agenda. So if you open this up, it's actually this document that I initially showed at the beginning of this session. I'm going to zoom in for you. This is a running document. So what I mean by that is that the agenda for every single month's meeting through this school year is on this document and will be on this document. At the end of the school year, I will create a new document for the 2024-2025 school year, and those meetings. I will have a link to this document so that you can refer back to if necessary, but it's pretty easy to navigate it. I'll explain it really quick. The top of it is a table of contents. It has everything you need to know. You need to know more about the group, how to connect with us, how to join us live, how you can leave feedback, because you can leave feedback in a plethora of ways. You can leave a comment on the doc itself. You can leave a comment on the live video. You can leave a comment on the recording, and I will get back to you. My contact information is also in here. So let me click on the Connect with GEG Iowa, and it's got all the information that you need. So it's got our website, it's got my email address, it's got our Twitter account, now known as X, it's got Facebook, my YouTube account, all of that. It has a link to our calendar. So if you want to subscribe, I have all of the monthly events linked on here. And then, as I mentioned, at any point you can leave a comment on the document. It's really easy to do it. If you were in a document, pretty much you can highlight wherever you're at, and then there is an option to add a comment. And so you can do that at any point. In the agenda, how it generally works, and let's go through it, is I'll introduce you guys to myself and can give you a little feedback or a little information about me, how I joined or how I started the group and all of that. Then I will eventually get to sharing the different tools or tricks or whatever that are for the session that month. And then I will and then we will end with if anyone is watching or is attending live, they can leave a comment at any point with any other related tools that are either related to whatever we're talking about right now, or if something you want me to explore in a future virtual session, or just any comment that you want to give. We will give you guys the floor during that section of every session. And then we will end each session just with a quick preview of, hey, this is what we have left or this is what we have coming up for future events of this school year. As soon as I have something planned for August, I will get it on the agenda. I will try to have at least an August date picked out before the May date. So keep in mind that it is a tentative date, so we will see how that goes. So I hope that all makes sense. And so now I'm going to tell you about myself. I should have gotten into this earlier, but I'm sure if any of you know me, I'm a bit of a space case, but that's okay. So My name is Whitney Bacon. I am the Educational Technology Specialist or Instructional Designer at the Iowa Educational Services for the Blind and Visually Impaired. I have worked there just over 2 years, which is insane. That's already been 2 years. And I have 9 years of teaching experience, seven, and actually I guess it's 9.5 years of teaching experience, 7.5 of which were in a classroom. So for a majority of the time, I mean, I was always middle school. So the youngest I've ever taught was 5th grade. The oldest I've ever taught was 8th grade. For some of it, I was a literacy teacher. Some of it, I was a reading resource teacher. And then I did a 6th grade lit and language arts teacher. Then I was a tech teacher, which is when I realized I wanted to go into the position that I'm in now. And then I was a 5th grade general ed teacher. So what I do at ISBVI is as an instructional designer, my role is to help our staff. Most of our staff are teachers, are educators, with anything educationally tech related. So if they want to learn how to do, if they want to learn how to quickly zoom in on Outlook, they contact me. I lead various trainings based on the interests of whatever our staff are want to learn about throughout the school year. And I make a lot of informational guides and tours of various apps, because one of the things that I do a lot in my role is like research and try to find free or cheap alternatives to paid resources that our staff are aware of, and try to give them a different option, or find something that is accessible for our blind and visually impaired students based on their specific needs. So I do a lot of that. And because of all of that, and because I actually spent a lot of time recording, this happens just to work out that I took over as the GEG leader of the Iowa branch. So, but I've been attending Google Educator groups literally since my first year of teaching in 2013. Today, I was going to talk about just various calendar tools. For work, we use Outlook, so I will try to I will try to always talk about Outlook as well, but this is about more than my job. And so I try to cover as many different of the spectrums as possible. In my personal life, I use Google Calendar. So we're going to talk about both, try to give you as much information about them in the time that we have available. And then I always try to give a little bonus resource of like a enrichment game or something that I've been playing, because I play a lot of logic puzzles and stuff. It's really not even necessarily like needed for school, but it's just a fun thing to put in our session. So let's talk about Google Calendar first, and let's just go a little deeper into how this running document works. So each resource that I introduce, I generally have the first line is always going to be a link to the general website of whatever resource we're talking about. So for Google Calendar, there is a direct link to the calendar. And then I always have at least one other resource that you guys can peruse outside of this session. So generally it is a video related to whatever resource that we're talking about, because I spend a lot of time researching on YouTube and add a lot of stuff to my various watch lists, because I'm a huge YouTube fan and learn how to do everything literally from YouTube. That is how I know how to do everything that I know how to do. but I often will also find articles. It's just I find videos, the audio especially, to be helpful for a lot of people. So if for whatever reason the video or link that I share is not accessible or helpful for your particular needs, just let me know. Leave a comment. I will find you a different resource for specifically for the resource for the specific tool we're talking about. Okay, so let's talk about Google Calendar and some of my favorite things about Google Calendar that are often overlooked. So we're going to go to Google Calendar, which I already have open. Oh, well, I had whatever we're going to do here in a second open. Okay, so the first thing about Google Calendar that a lot of people are unaware of, and I'm actually going to change my screen resolution so you guys can see this a little better. I want you guys to be able to see the entire user interface. I have a lot of stuff, so yeah, it's like a little bit of a mess, but that's okay. If we switch to like the week, it'll give us a better understanding of that. Okay, so let's just look at next week. Okay, so the first thing to note about Google Calendar, and this is really about all Google services, is the sidebar. I'm going to move my camera. The sidebar on the right of the calendar, or if you're using a screen reader and you navigate to the sidebar, I think they literally just call it sidebar. But the sidebar within Google Calendar is really awesome because it lets you have multi-functionality. It lets you use your calendar and use other Google related services. So I use this a lot, like if I am taking notes, because I use Google Keep, which is like essentially a sticky note thing. I also like if you do if you use Google's tasks for like your to-do list, then that's in there. If I need to pull up contacts, that's great. And there's a plus sign because there's other things that you can add to the sidebar to look into for this. I have not played around with some of these recently, and not all of them are like safe, so you have to be pretty confident about what you are installing. AI right now is a big hot topic, so there are legitimate AI platforms out there, and there are scams, and there are ones that have viruses hidden behind them. So if you are not sure, do not just blindly install anything. Contact me or reach out to like your IT or someone that you trust that knows those kind of things. So that is the sidebar. The thing with this sidebar and how I actually find this most useful is when I am in other Google related things and I need to look at my calendar or add stuff to my calendar and all of that. So if I'm in my email, this sidebar is here again if you use Gmail. So say I'm just going to pull up this email and say I want to check my calendar. There is a calendar option. I have it set to agenda like view because I prefer seeing my calendar when I'm like doing this kind of functionality. I prefer to see it as an agenda, but you can switch it to day. You can have more than one calendar on here if you want. So if I look at mine, I have my husband. That's weird to say because we have only been married like 2 weeks. But yeah, so I have my husband's calendar in here. I have my work calendar, which is an Outlook calendar in here. And then I have like this calendar, which is my personal calendar. So I could turn off Nick's and it would be no longer in here. Look at schedule. So yeah, his is gone now. If you notice the difference here, it was red. So yeah, that's the difference here. He says mortgage, auto pay, and all that stuff like that. Or if I turn off my work one might actually be hard to see since I'm on my personal one. Let's turn off my personal one. There, what? Oh, it's because I still have his calendar on. There we go. Okay. So I turned off my work, turned off my calendar one, and I left on my work one, so I can only see my work calendar. So it's really helpful. Um, the really cool and nice thing about this option, let me turn this back on, is that you can drag emails into into this and create an event from it. So let me show you. It's been a while. I think you have to be in this part. So I think I have to like grab. Let's just grab this guy. Oh wait, no, it's not that you can grab it. Sorry, that's something else. It's instead if you have it open. So say I'm in this, and then you click create an event with this open, then it will pull it in, and it'll pull in. Damn, it didn't work. I don't know what's going on because usually it pulls in. Maybe because this is not a great email. Yeah, so usually it pulls in that data and all of that. So that is the sidebar. Again, there's other options in here. Like I've used contacts actually a lot from in here. But it's really nifty when you're gonna search, try to find everybody on here. So that is the sidebar. Really useful. And this is available. The sidebar is available in every like Google, almost every Google related thing. So like, looks like it's not available in our Google group, but it's available in Google Drive. There we go. I can pull up the calendar. Yeah, so really useful. Might have to dive deeper into the sidebar in a future session, which I'm totally down for. Because especially with like Google Keep, there's a lot of extra functionality that I really like. We'll have to get back to that another time. Okay, so that is the first part of Google Calendar. Then the rest of the things I wanted to show about Google Calendar are within Gmail, actually. So when you're in an email, let's go back to that test one. When I'm in an email, from an email, I can make an event from the email in multiple ways, kind of the way I just showed you with the sidebar open. But you can also from I believe this bar up here is called the actions bar. I can click the more button, which in Google, the more button is, I think they call it the kebab, like 3 vertical dots. So I'll click more. And then there is an option to create event. With this way, if you do this option, if you create an event through this way, it's going to open a new tab in Google Calendar, which if you like that, then great. And notice it pulls all of the information in from the from the email. I think it also pulls in like if there's any files attached and stuff like that, then it'll pull that in too. You can then change anything in here that you want to. It'll automatically grab yourself and whoever that email was and assign each of you as guests. And then once you're done, it'll ask you if you want to send it to the other guest. I'm not going to actually do that because, oh, I meant to actually cancel that, but that's fine. So that is how you create an event from that option. The way that I think there is a better way that I prefer to do it. So, and that is when you are replying and or composing a message. So if I go to reply, it's going to pull up the compose menu. And this works if you're like in just like this compose, or if you're in like the external pop-up compose window. And so then in here, the option that you're looking for is in the, I believe inside the compose menu, they call it the more options button. So we've got the more button and the more options button. And this more options button is in the compose. So if you go in here, there is an option to set up a time to meet. And then if you do set a time to meet, you can do create an event. So the reason I like this one over the other one is because it will pull up that sidebar that I was mentioning earlier. So then bring that up, and then you can save, and you honestly don't need to do anything else. You can just, whatever you need to do. If you need to do, like, if you need more than just, like, if you need more than changing this. Oh, wait, actually, yeah, hold on. Let me show you what I just did. Oopsie. We're going to go back. Let's cancel discard. Where did that go? Okay, so if I click set up a time to meet, let's do create an event. Okay, so from this, if all you need to do is just add more guests, or maybe you don't need to do anything, when you do this, it'll default to like what time you're at right now, but you can hit save and then send it. Or if you need to like edit any details about this, then you can click on the actual like title or anything up here, and then you'll get a little more that you can change on the fly. So say I want to make this meeting for the 26th from 7:30 to 8:30, sure, and I want to add another person here. I'm just going to add my work account, and then I'm going to send it, and sure. Okay. So there we go. It attaches it in here, but they also were sent it, so then I can just send. So they would get it, and they get an invitation to it. So that's what it looks like from in your outbox, I guess, when you send it to them. So pretty cool. I really like that option. So the next thing that I really, really like about the Google Calendar, the next perk that a lot of people do not realize is in here, is in the same compose menu that I was just showing you. So you'll go to more options, and you'll go to set up a time to meet. So then, say instead of creating an event, you want to like you have some options, you have some ideas of when you want to meet, and you want to see if they're available. You can do offer times you're free, and then this will bring up the sidebar again. And then say you need just 30 minutes, and then this, like, usually it's not as compact. It's because I changed my resolution so you guys can see it a little better. But essentially, you can go in here and I'm like, okay, I know on the 26th I'm available at, let's say, 10:30. Okay, and then 11 a.m. Okay, and then I'm also available, sure, we'll say then, and then maybe we add another date. Let's do on the 28th. I'm available 9 a.m. Great. And then next, it'll by default it'll just say let's meet. We can like call it whatever. And then if I wanted to add a description, I could. In this method, it doesn't pull in all of that information. I don't think. Let me see. Add to email, but it will. But it will throw it in here. Which let me see if I can show you guys a better view of this. Yeah, I'll just bring my little resolution thing back here so I can show you guys it a little better. But here we go. So yeah, it says proposed times. And then once you send this email, they will get these times, and essentially it'll become a poll. So they will get to vote, and then once you get their vote, then you can book an event and send it to them. So that is the calendar from Google. Okay. So that is everything about the calendar that I wanted to show you guys. Now a calendar for Google Calendar. Now let's talk about Outlook, because as mentioned earlier, not everybody uses Google and Google Calendar. So, not what I wanted. Okay. So, first things first, I am going to introduce you to new Outlook. This is new Outlook. If you don't have any idea what the heck I'm talking about, and I will show you the old Outlook as well. Okay, so both things that I'm going to show you are, for the most part, available on any version of Outlook. for most of the things, I like using the new version of Outlook. It's called Outlook New, or the web version of Outlook. Outlook New and the web version of Outlook are the same. The older version of Outlook has some different functionality, and you can at any point, if you want to try out the new version of Outlook, in the top left corner of your original Outlook window, there is a try the new Outlook, and you don't have to worry about losing the old Outlook. I mean, literally, as I'm showing you guys both, I use both for my job because I have staff, I have coworkers who are using the new version. I have coworkers who are using the old version. So I have to have both, and I have to know how to use every single setting about both. So that is a little about just the new. Okay, so in Outlook, the first thing I want to introduce is similar to what I was showing you with Google Calendar and their sidebar. In both versions of Outlook, you can at any time you can have a sidebar that gives you a nice preview of your calendar, and you also can have to do, like you can have a to-do list in here. It's not as robust, I guess, as Google Calendar, since Google, or I should say Google services, because Google's sidebar, you can, like, there's just so many other apps that you can do with it. So in the new version of Outlook, what you will do, and let me, I have, there we go. Okay. So in the new version of Outlook, all you got to do to activate this option, which I am going to, again, zoom in for you guys. I probably don't want to go much closer, is click this calendar icon from the very top of the Outlook window. There's some other things up there like the settings icon. There's a light bulb, which just gives you like suggestions of stuff. So once you click it, it may look slightly different from mine just because of my settings, but essentially it will give you a lot of the same information that Google Calendar does. So it'll pull up my calendar. I can see it in both agenda form and as a like month. I can go to, the next month. I can get rid of the month view. I can look at today. I can switch from the agenda to just today's like calendar if that's what I would prefer. And then I can also choose, just like in Google Calendar, whether I want to have other calendars on here. So I also have my personal calendar synced with this, which I can't remember whether I've done a session on syncing your calendar across the two different platforms, because a lot of people use one platform for their work account and then another one for their personal account, and it's pretty easy to sync both, as long as they work. Okay, so that's the calendar one, and then the to-do is pretty easy. The nice thing about the new version of Outlook and the web version is that you can take any of these emails and you can drag them directly in here as either an event or a task. So if I have, with this current email that I have in my hand, if I let it go in the event, it will like immediately open up the new event window. It will copy in the information that was in the original email, and then you can edit the event and all of that. So that is some good information to be aware of. And then if you instead want to add it as a to-do, like a task, you can throw it in there like that. And then I don't think with like the tasks in Outlook and in Google Calendar are a little, they leave a lot to be desired. So I don't actually use this much, but oh, I'm sorry. Maybe one of these days I will. Oh, apparently they changed things. Please excuse my messing with this because I haven't messed with it in a while. Okay, so that is how to look at your calendar side by side. and your to-do list. I can't remember if there's like a way to set this so that it's always up. But yeah, so that's on the new version. But as I said, there is a way to do it on the original version of Outlook. In fact, right now, as we are looking at my old version of Outlook, I have it open and there's added functionality in here. So I'm actually going to get rid of it and then I'll show you guys how to do it. Oh, oops. I think I have the wrong one. Oh, wait, yeah. No, it was already on here. Sorry. So in the old version of Outlook, you'll go to View. So this is from the ribbon. You'll go to View, and then there is an option that says To-Do bar. And so if you want your calendar on here, you can click Calendar. And then once it's in here, I can't remember. I don't think there's really any other settings. I don't think you can actually edit anything about this. Yeah, I believe you can't really do anything. If you actually want to change something about the event, you can double click on it and update it that way. But that's all you can really do in here. And then same thing with like, I can also add tasks here. And then one additional thing you can do in the old version that you can't do in the new version is you can add people. So you can see you can add people as your favorites, and so I have people who I talk to the most often or most recently, and it would tell me whether they are on right now or not. So that's very helpful to know if someone is available and all that. So that's like that part of it. The final thing that I want to tell you guys about calendar-wise in Outlook is using an add-on called Find Time. Find Time is really helpful because when you are talking to other people, there is not a easy way without this add-on to tell when are you available. So let's do that. Okay, so we are going to reply to an email. I'm going to pop this guy out. Okay, and then, I'm sorry, I'm really tired today. Oh my god. Whew, it has been a long day. Oopsie poopsie. Oh, hold on. Okay, we're gonna go. Okay. All right. So, with an email selected or an event, it's either one. As long as you have people in here, so I'm gonna put some other. Not sure whether. Well, yeah, I'll put some of my actual coworkers' names. Let's do that. Let's do just because it's gonna be easiest for this to work. Okay, so in here, what you're gonna do is you are gonna do, once this is in here, and I'm currently on the old version of Outlook for this, they're both technically the same exact add-on, but on the old version, it says, I mean, both versions on like to click it, it will say scheduling poll, but the add-on itself is called Find Time. So once you have the email, you actually do have to have something in the body. So something has to be here for this to work. And then you can do new scheduling poll. And then it will look at, let's look at sometime. Okay, so it says tomorrow the three of us are available at 11. No, that's not tomorrow. 2 days from now, the three of us are available at 11 o'clock. So I could select that, click next, and we could create a poll. This same app is available in the new version. Same thing of like I start an email. With this, I should say, I'm sorry. With this, the major caveat is for this to actually work well. You have to be able to, you have to have permission to their calendar. So if you do not have viewing permission to their calendar, it's not gonna show up. So you'll just come in here and you'll click scheduling poll. So this same thing will do it. I don't know why it's not working. Computer's just being a butthole right now. Why is this not working? Did it pull up somewhere else? I don't know. We're running low on time. So that is fine. But yeah, essentially when it functions correctly, it would pull it in for me here, but it doesn't want to, whatever. And then with Google Calendar, I didn't really talk about this, but there is essentially the same thing in Google Calendar. Let me show you here. So with Google Calendar, if you go to create event, then you can do more options. And from more options, you click find a time. And then there you go. You can put in whoever it's going to be. So in my example, I'll do my husband. And then I'll look at a time. I'll be like, okay, let's try this time. So it's going to suggest that time or whatever. And then same thing here with like the Outlook one, that you have to have access to you have to have access to their no. You have to have access to their calendar to be able to see it. So if I try someone that I don't have access to, it won't give me good suggestions. So say I tried one of my friends, it'll have the little asterisk, and the asterisk tells you the calendar cannot be shown, and it will tell you why, because you don't have viewing permissions from this person. You'd have to ask for that from them. So that is Find a Time on Google Calendar. With the Outlook, I didn't say of it is an add-on, so you got to add it to your Outlook. It's pretty easy on both versions. So in the new version of Outlook, there is the different types of apps, I guess, for Google or not Google, sorry, for Microsoft. And then you'll come to the last one, which is a rectangle with 4 rectangles inside of it. You'll click on it, you'll click Add Apps, and then just search for Find Time. You'll do that, you'll click Add It, and then you'll be able to add it. It's made by Microsoft, so it's trusted and everything. So that is that one. And then essentially on the old version, same thing. I think it's literally, yeah, it is the same thing. It's literally they have the same icon, just different color, and then Add Apps, and then Find Time. So that is Find Time. It is already 7:46, and I had one more tool to introduce. I guess I can go over it really quick. It's very easy to introduce, and it doesn't need. We can dive into it another time, a little deeper if we want to. But it's called Calendly. So Calendly is good for if you as an individual need to if you have X amount of time slots that you need to have someone schedule a time with you, but they're not your regular office hours, or they're not consistent, they're just okay, as a teacher, okay, so maybe for teacher conferences, it's okay, we're doing conferences next Thursday from 3 to 7, here is what I still have available, and then this program lets you do that. It makes it very easy for you to share your calendar, and it will go it connects to Google Calendar and it connects to Outlook. So it is really easy to use. Since we don't really have much time, I guess I can log in and show you guys at least what it looks like. It doesn't want to log in. Calendly. Oh, it must just be. Oh, I think it's on my work account. Okay, that's fine. Let's go to our Calendly. Okay. Log in. Okay, and then let's just look at this like we are going to book it. So essentially, it gives you a booking page that people can use to book. And then, and like right now, this is, it's outdated. I haven't actually updated it since the last time I used it. But it's very easy to use. They will see just on the calendar, they will only see dates that are available to them. They can click and then they can grab that booking. Anybody else who is on at the same time, if that other person snags it before they do, it like they won't be able to get it. So, and then you get an email notification, and you can kind of customize everything within your settings so that like it has whatever it has. Like if you use Zoom, if you use Google Meet, you can have that all within your description so that they'll be able to just like from your regular calendar. So in Outlook, you don't have to do anything new. Like you don't have to come to Calendly. It'll be in your Outlook or your Google Calendar. So that is Calendly. And then finally, the last thing that I like to do, and I do want to check to make sure we have time, which it does look like that we don't have any comments on the live document. So we have just enough time to go talk about the bonus game. So the bonus link this month is, sorry, I meant to actually activate my bonus. Okay, so it is called Plusword. Plusword is essentially a crossword game. It's like a crossword. If crossword and Wordle had a baby. So your crossword, all of your crossword answers have 5 words. Sorry, 5 letters, and they're pretty difficult. But the whole point of it is if you solve all of the 5 across clues and down clues, then just like in Wordle, you'll figure out these different these different colors are like the green means that you are correct in that letter and it will be in this slot for the plus word. So you're trying to figure out what the plus word is. So just as an example, say hi to kitty cat. This is Honey. Okay, she's not gonna be naughty. Okay. So let's see if we can figure out partners of papas. I'm gonna guess number 1 is mamas. Do you think it's MAMAS or mama? I think it's mamas. Inundated. I don't remember how to say that word. Don't have any idea who this devotee of Halle Selassie is. A shepherd's staff is I know the one with the little thingy. They are often very, very difficult. So it's fun stuff. But let's see, spring month down. That's probably March. What kitty cat? God dang it. March. Okay, in the know. No. In the loop. Like the loop, a loop. Not sure. And one thing I'll say that is if you have all of this wrong and then you try to solve the plus word, it just will not, it'll just say it's not right, or it won't actually do anything until you have it right. A stone worker is a mason. Honey, aren't you helping? Can you help Mama? Okay. Me? Okay, Nancy something. And then we've got what do you call it an anagram? Oh, I got an anagram, honey. Okay, let's see. We've got ROTAS. Nancy Atros. Hey, stop licking me. Sorry, my kitty's licking me. Our toes? Sure. Questionable, unsteady. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so this is Plus Word. Pretty fun game. Check it out if you have never used it. It is available on the desktop, like what I'm sharing right now, but it's also available on a mobile device. It's really fun. It every day, just like Wordle, there is a new Plus Word. So it is endless fun, and every single day it's difficult as heck. So okay, so then we don't have anybody under here for comments today. And then looking ahead at upcoming events, one thing I didn't mention is that there is a link to a spreadsheet that will show you all of the upcoming that'll show you all of our upcoming agenda and dates, and when the agendas become available, and the live stream link, which honestly the live stream is always going to be the same link. The calendar invite will always be the same link, and then attendance is also always going to technically be the same link. So that's in here. This is also on the website. So if I go to the website and I go to monthly meetings, um, if you scroll down, you will see this spreadsheet. And it is clickable too from within the website. So I can click on this, and each one, like if I want to look at what did we cover in January, it will take you directly to January. These are collapsible, so I can click expand and collapse them. Generally, I collapse the last month just so that it's not too cumbersome. It doesn't force everybody who's opening it to have to wait for that to happen. So that is all of that. But yes, we will see you next month on April 17th. Looking forward to it. If there are any topics you want to request, please do. You can do that in the, if you see this leave feedback section on the agenda, or any way that you can think of. If you find a way to contact me, since it's on here and all of that, then please do let me know. All right, bye bye.